So let's start right now with some deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just kind of settle ourselves. And now remind yourself or recall yourself to the present moment. Try and let go of anything that might be in the future, anything that might be in the past. And just come to this present moment where you're listening to my voice, you're feeling yourself in your chair, you're being in the room that you're in, and just being right here and right now. And if your mind goes off, that's fine. But when it occurs to you that it has to come back again to this present moment. Now, in this relaxed moment, try and scan, use your attention. I'll say in your head, but it can be anything in your experience right now. And just kind of use the attention to kind of look around, kind of like a radar, and look around in your experience now. And if you have any sense that there is a separate self, one that's temporary, one that's going to pass from the earth someday, one that came into the earth at some point in time, and that if there's any separation from the oneness that I believe we all are, and I experience that we all are, try and find that boundary. Try and see if there should be a boundary. If they're separate things, there should be a boundary somewhere. So scan your experience and look for that boundary. And look first close in, just scan gently around. And then go out a little bit farther and scan and spread out the attention just a little bit more broadly. And then a little bit broader still, and see if you found any boundaries, anything that your feeling imagination can say, oh, there's this side and there's that side. And try and stay away from the thinking about it or who's thinking about it, and just go to this direct attention sweeping through your experience. We'll go out a little bit farther, take a bigger step, still keep scanning and see if you find anything to be separate. And if you do, then just pay attention to that and bring it to your attention. And you can let what other things that I say go while you pay attention to it, and just bring it to your attention and study it. Or just take note of it and maybe come back and study it another time. Then finally let your attention go as broadly as you feel it can and see if it runs into anything. So we'll just stay with that way for a few breaths. And this can be in all directions. Go out as broadly as you can. Now, you want to bring your attention back to your more immediate physical presence here. And use that same feeling imagination now to turn it more directly to your body. And any part of your body is fine. It can be your head, your neck, your shoulders, your torso, your legs, your arms. And as you go through, use that same attention you used before to explore it. And go in different directions. And I'm not necessarily talking just about physical directions. They can be other kinds of directions, deeper, different parts, different layers. And see if you run into any contractions, any aches or pains that are not due to some sort of injury or something, but are just aches or pains that are in your body. And if you find something, and it can be a resistance, it can be a thought, it can be something that, oh, I don't like this guided meditation, that's good too. And follow that. See if there's something to that. See if there's an energy behind that. And try and use your feeling imagination to go to that energy, to kind of hold it in your attention, almost, again, not with your eyes, but with your feeling imagination. Look at that energy, be aware of it. And if you're ready, or if it feels appropriate, try and go and touch it a bit. See if you don't get some energy from it. And if it's like tasting a dish on a dinner. See if you get a taste for it. Is it anger? Is it sadness? Shame? Sorrow? Again, we don't have to go into it more deeply, but if you found something, then consider using that same feeling imagination, that same kind of exploration in your own time, in your own place, to explore that. And if it feels right, as we've talked about in today's episode, explore it and bring it to your attention. Don't push it away, and explore it. And again, there's nothing that says you have to dive in right now. You can dive in whenever you're ready. But if you ever feel ready, start feeling like you're going into this energy. And again, as I kind of described, kind of identify, see if there's a center, and see if you can move yourself into that center. And again, you can go back in, and again, if it gets too intense, go back out and leave it there. It's not going anywhere, unfortunately. But I found from my experience that if you do engage it and you do experience that energy, whatever kind of energy it is, and again, to let it radiate out from you, don't hold on to it. You don't need it anymore. That this energy does dissipate if you spend enough time with it. And again, sometimes it can take a long time. Anyway, now come back to our breath. Feel the air going in, release it, feel the air going out. Feel the chair that you're sitting on or the floor you're standing on. Now come back to your current presence and come back to this wonderful podcast. When you're ready, open your eyes and be back in your current experience.